I was in this movie, and I have to say I was very impressed. I tend to be rather difficult to work with, especially considering that my Rakeman and this Rakeman are very different creatures. At this point, I can't separate the man from the rake. It's a part of who I am.
Jeff Campbell is the true creator of Rakeman. And how could he have created a character like Rakeman? That came from within him. However, my version of Rakeman, who I like to call the Midnight Gardener, that idea really just came out of boredom. One day I said to myself, this is a character that has existed in legend for so long. So few people actually got to see Rakeman when, in his original incarnation. We need to bring a version to everybody, to the world, so that they can really feel the fear. The idea of Rakeman, most people, they wouldn't think that a man with a rake, plastic or metal, would inspire fear, whether he's raking leaves or anything else. But I think it's pretty clear to see that we achieved that. Jeff Campbell, he's weird, rather demanding, constant demands for script rewrites and creative control, very opinionated.
I still don't like this shirt.
But hey, if he didn't have opinions, he wouldn't be Jeff Campbell, quite frankly. I have to admit that there was a time that Shelley Long had a very special place in my heart. She always will, but I loved her in Troop Beverly Hills. Didn't necessarily love her in anything else. I can't say that I've seen the rest of her work, but Troop Beverly Hills stands on its own as a milestone in cinema. I mean, that many teenage girls singing about cookies, I don't think it's been done, and I don't think it will ever be done again. I discovered her on the floor of a living room when she was about 2 years old, and it was just odd. There was a gleam in her eye. I said, someday this young lady's going to grow up and she's going to be a fine actress. I could see it. She has the spark that she had back then. She's carried it with her throughout her life, and frankly, if I was going to have anybody fight with a rake, I'm just glad it was her. The mentally ill. We're all mentally ill in our own way. Some people might call me an eccentric on some level. And, as far as where my mind is at, it's focused on the mentally deranged. The spark of creativity that comes from working with actors of this caliber at all hours of the night.
Anything after 5 a.m., that was my favorite part.
We had those that put in their time, their scheduled time, and then we put in some extra hours.
This is the second night that we've been up till 6 in the morning, and I have to work the next day because it's not all about movies, okay? There's other things that need to happen. People need to get their nachos and wings during a football game.
I'm a man who likes to sleep. But when there's those creative juices get flowing, at least I can watch Rakeman and say, there's where it all started.
Hi, my name is Nikki Pop, and I play Trish. I don't have any fame or accolades at this point. More is more, if that makes sense. A character such as mine doesn't really understand limits, so just give her a whole palette of makeup, she'll put the whole thing on her face, and that's what I do. I would like to say that it was my charm and good looks, because it definitely was not my striking ability to hold an audience on screen. I only met half the cast, which is weird. By the way, I don't know if that's something like they're like, alright, we're gonna put these other people in the movie, but we don't want them to have to deal with Nikki. I think I've got the Shannon Doherty complex. No one wants to work with me. Who did I hate? I don't like Emily. Why? Because she's the only other girl and there's competition there. So, I'm watching you. Pretty much gonna ride the residuals for playing this on the internet for the next couple of years till I can get married and divorced, take someone else's money.